Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin. If you're new here, I'm a senior studying environmental science and policy at the University of South Florida in Tampa. And today I bring to you my freshman guide. I hope that this video is attracting the audience of somebody who's maybe a junior or a senior in high school that's looking to apply to college, or maybe you guys just decided and committed to USF. Go Bulls! I want this video to be for those people who are seeking a little bit of realistic freshman guidance that's not from the university, or it's not like a bunch of years old. Literally, like, come here, don't come here, I don't care. I'm not like biased in any way to this university. I love what it's done for me, but I'm also understanding that it's not meant for everybody, and I think that it's important that everybody like explores their options. So I hope that you enjoy this video. Sit back and relax and let's get into it. So I'm gonna break this video down with some like general applicant knowledge, and then I'm gonna talk about like housing and all that, and then academics and social life as well. So to start, I have a few tips for those who are looking to apply to college, and this is kind of general, not just for USF. Don't apply undecided. Even if you're unsure of what you want to do, I would pick a major that was close to a subject you enjoyed in high school and kind of go with that. Maybe you have an idea that you want to get into something business related, so you should just do a broad business major, or you want to go pre-med and you know that, go for it. What attracts people to USF is usually their pre-med program. There are so many pre-med students, so many clubs for that. I know a lot of business people. I even know like English majors. We're pretty good with humanities as well. And then there's, you know, geosciences and environmental science, kind of where I'm in. And then we also have a large like marine bio program that's more at the St. Pete campus and the Tampa campus, but it's still related to USF. So all around, I think the academics at USF is what brings a lot of people in, but I also think that where it's located is beautiful. Campus is beautiful, it's always vibrant, there's usually something going on, there's plenty of places to study, plenty of places to eat, it's really nice. Campus, like housing isn't bad. And then I think like downtown Tampa is also very attractive to people. The important thing is what you're looking for in a college. If you are looking for academics, or maybe you're looking for a place with a really good sorority because you know you want to get into that, or fraternity, if you want a good music school or something like that, you know, kind of know a general idea of what are you looking for, what are you looking to get out of college. When it comes to stats, I think every single year changes, and it's also important to note that the college or the major that you're applying to also is a deciding factor of whether or not that's a good score. Meaning, if you have an 1180 SAT score versus a 1300 SAT score and you're applying pre-med, the 1300 is probably better to apply with. They need to know whether or not you can pass organic chemistry, okay? I think that that's important when it comes to stats, but overall, if you get an interview, if you're going to a school that has an interview, just always be authentically yourself. I always say that whatever is meant for you will never pass you by, and you need to kind of believe that, as hard as it is to accept. Yeah, I'm kind of talking to my past self here. So that was all for my general knowledge. If you have any questions about the college admissions process or USF in particular with that, please feel free to drop a comment and I will definitely answer that. So let's get started into when you move in. So you've decided that you want to go to USF, you're curious about housing, you don't kind of know what it's like, you want to know, all right, where do I see myself? There's a lot of housing options at USF, and I think that that can make it a little bit confusing. But I think the good thing to understand is, like, do you want to be like this close to somebody? Do you need your own space? Who are you? You know, are you a very extroverted person? Are you fine sharing a space with somebody else? Or are you somebody who thinks you're gonna need that alone time in college? If you are somebody who needs your own space, I still highly suggest living on campus your first year. I would not live on campus. Like, you will regret it, I promise. So please live on campus. Being within walking distance of events and stuff is really helpful. But let's get started with kind of like housing. If you need your own space, I suggest apartment style living. That's gonna be Holly Apartments, Magnolia Apartments. I like apartment style living because you're able to kind of like cook your own food when you get sick of the dining hall. You don't have to have an unlimited meal plan. You have your own dishwasher, kind of like a living space, and then you can kind of like go to your own room, and then you're usually just kind of sharing a bathroom with somebody else. I lived in the village for 2 years. My first year I lived with a roommate like next to me, and we had our own bathroom, which was called suite style. And then I also had a single traditional where I shared a bathroom. That was like my back side of the building. When it comes to selecting your roommates, I think a great way to meet roommates is through that like Instagram, like class of 2029 or whatever that they make. I just think that that is kind of the best way to go after it, because you kind of get a sense for like what they look like, what their major is, and then you guys can like DM each other and be like, what kind of dorm style are you looking for? And then it's somebody that's kind of random, but you know you can probably vibe with and go to a few events with. But I think that sometimes if you are rooming with your best friend, it can cause a lot of tension and problems in your friendship. So I don't really recommend that. I'm just gonna say that off the bat. I don't know good stories about it. But whatever, if it works, it works. Now I'm gonna tell you guys my favorite on-campus housing, and that's Magnolia Apartments. I believe Magnolia is the best because it's apartment style. You have a pool nearby. You have access to the Beard parking garage, which is like the best for residents on campus. And then you also have access to JP Dining Hall, which is the best as well. So yeah, I would pick Magnolia because you get your own room as well. And I love that. You get to have roommates, but you have your own space. That's the best. I also don't regret living in the village. The living situation, super new, it's really nice. The kitchen downstairs is not bad. I would cook breakfast there every once in a while. The fit was like the best. I love that gym so much. The parking, nightmarish, okay? The village parking lot, super small. It is so small for the amount of cars that park there. I don't know how they like gave everybody a parking pass. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've had to like park far away from the village. So yeah, if you live in any housing on campus, I highly recommend getting a wagon or a cart. That way you can like pull your groceries, or you can bring like your suitcase in. It's great for moving. Lifesaver. I also really liked living on campus just because of the locality of everything. You run into like random events going on. You always see the flyers on campus, so you kind of know what's going on. You can plan events, you have dining dollars, you can meet up people in the MSC. Like, I just think you're very centrally located, and that helps you to like meet new people, gain friendships, be good in school. You can walk to all your classes, so you're getting that like exercise, which is nice. It's good for the mental state. So far, a con of USF would be the parking situation. Too many commuter kids, too many residents, too many cars. Another con, the dining situation. Now JP dining is fine, especially like for your first year. Like, they have pretty good cookies. The burger place was always like pretty decent. And then their breakfast bars were okay. They have like an omelet station. They do like a rotation of French toast, pancakes, sausage links. Like, they kind of had it all. Yeah, USF has 3 gyms on campus, which I think is incredible. So there's a lot of opportunities to work out. We always have like fitness groups, or there's like yoga going on in like one of the parks. There are parks on campus as well, which is nice. Beware of the ducks. They can be a little feisty. But otherwise I think it's just like beautiful. You can always kind of get like a little escape on campus when you need it the most, especially when you're dealing with really stressful courses. Talk about academics at USF and my freshman guide. When you apply to USF and you get accepted, your academic advisor is going to provide you with a schedule for your fall semester. So they'll pick your classes for you, and they'll pick the times automatically. One thing that you can do is actually email them and say like, hey, is there a time slot for Comp 2 a bit earlier in the day? Prepare yourself for weed out courses, especially if you're in like engineering. Some of those like beginning classes like in the 2000s will actually be much harder than the 3000s that you get into later. You don't have to worry about Orgo really your first semester. You'll probably just be taking like Gen Chem or Gen Bio or something. And those classes are, I'd say, like pretty feasible, but it can be a lot of work, especially for somebody who's like brand new to college. And that's why I think your spring semester is much better than your fall semester, just because you got a semester under your belt. You're like, okay, I'm capable, I can do this. I know how to get to some of the classes. I'm starting to learn like, you know, course codes, building codes and stuff like that. So you're a little bit more confident in yourself, which I think helps to make a better semester, and it helps to make you a better student, to be more prepared. I would say like the beautiful thing about college is that you have so much free time on your hands. USF also offers like a lot of electives that are online and pretty easy to take. So that way you can like get your electives done and your major classes done without having to like really sweat the small stuff, and you can focus on those larger courses. I think that academics at USF is great. We have a lot of good professors who are willing to help you out, and a lot of the courses in the beginning are designed to kind of like boost your grade at the end, to just kind of help you get used to college. And I think that that's just really nice of them. There's a lot of places to study. The Honors College is great. The Honors College has so many resources, so many really interesting classes to take, and a lot of those professors are also very hands-on. So if you're looking to get into research, you can usually do research by connecting with your honors professor. Not to say that you can be successful if you're not in honors. In my English Comp 2 class, which I really did not want to take my freshman year, I actually ended up writing a research paper that I presented at 2 conferences and then got published. So I did that all my freshman year because of Comp 2. So take what you will, but I think a piece of advice about academics is to take it seriously as soon as you can. Just because, you know, anything is good for the resume. Like, don't, you know, start your LinkedIn early, start making connections with your professors. You know, think of your professors as a potential reference for you when you want to apply to an internship or a job. So kind of have that in mind. So I suggest that. Join clubs, look into getting into like pre-med societies, or like, you know, finance, business societies, I don't know. Just kind of like get involved with your major a little bit so you meet people that have similar goals, because the truth is you never know who you're meeting now that later down the line could be like maybe your future boss or a connection to another job. And so it's kind of important to have that perspective when you start. You can kind of take it slow, but at least get yourself involved, because getting yourself involved will also help you to realize whether or not you actually want to be a doctor, whether or not you actually want to be in business. And so that's important. And don't forget about your hobbies. Clubs and activities. There are so many clubs and activities on campus. There's a huge like Latin dance club. There's so many religious groups and clubs as well. A lot that meet pretty weekly, so that you can always kind of be like connected to your faith while you're in college. A lot of cultural groups, a lot of pre-med society groups, pre-dental groups. There's just so much constantly going on. There's a lot of conferences where you can publish your paper, or you can, you know, present your posters. And there's a lot of ways for you to get a lot of experience for your resume. And there's also a lot of clubs and activities where you can just like play spike ball, go play pickleball, you know, be a part of the club soccer team, rugby, tennis. We have everything, and I love that about USF, because it's just like the options are endless. And so if you're somebody who's extroverted or excited to try new things, as long as you kind of like push yourself out of your comfort zone to try those new things and be brave and be bold and meet new people, you will get a lot more out of the college experience here at USF. I regret not putting myself out there more when I was a freshman. Now for some advice of things that maybe you won't think about. In large lecture halls, it can be pretty scary to sit up front, but I highly recommend doing it just because you will learn better. You know, take the responsibility also to show up to class. It is proven that students who show up to class every single day, despite if you're sick a few times, that you actually perform better in the class. Gain research experience as early as you can. If you can, getting a job on campus, working somewhere, doing some volunteering, all that can be helpful. Okay, and as I edit this video, I am like thinking to myself, I didn't talk about
the sorority life or the social life at all. I have never once been out in college. I tried to once and then it ended up like falling through, so it never happened for me. There is a large party scene like on the weekends, especially if you're in a sorority, they're always going out and doing something. The clubs and such around the area are just like not that fun. But I will say that if you are like willing to, or if that's something you're really interested in, I know a lot of people who go downtown in Tampa and they party there. There's tons of like nice high-end like restaurants and bars if you want to like drink and dance there. And then the sorority life isn't a huge presence on campus, but it's definitely felt, if you know what I mean. Like it's not Alabama sororities, but it is like you will see people wearing like all their merch and all the like sisters hanging out together. So I've heard that it's a little bit more like low key. So it's definitely something that I would have potentially considered had I not already been so far ahead of my degree. But yeah, I just don't think that's a sorority life was for me. But yeah, I'll mention that. We're not really a party school. So keep that in mind if that's something you are looking for.
I've pretty much said everything that I wanted to say. When it comes to things like what do you bring to college, I think a coffee maker, if you're a coffee person, is good. Definitely bring lots of like a mattress pad. That was one of the best things that I had for sleeping. You don't really need an air purifier, but you could if you have bad allergies. Definitely like bring some kind of basic like kitchen supplies if you're living in an apartment style dorm. My best recommendation too is to buy lots of lighting, like lamps, everything like that, because the overhead lights are really obnoxious. Do bring things that like remind you of home, like a bulletin board with photos of your family maybe. Sometimes a live plant can be nice in your room. Yeah, just I don't know what to tell you, but you know, you don't need to bring too much. But you know, when it comes to like a dorm essential, that's up to you. What is essential to you? That's what I would bring. If you are wanting more USF videos, I have all sorts of vlogs out there. I also have a video about how to study for STEM students. I have a video of my dorm tours. So yeah, feel free to ask lots of questions and watch my previous videos. That's kind of all I had for this, and I hope you guys enjoyed and got something out of this video. Yeah, if you did consider subscribing to my channel, I would really appreciate it to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.